Hi, I am at the end of a very fulfilling and tiring day of play. Just another day at the office. I just had a great conversation with the family, so I figured I would document this and share. We were talking about behavior and where it's coming from, and it turned into the whole attention seeking or wanting to get something argument. So I went into my spiel that when we talk about the traditional, generally accepted in a behavioral mindset, the functions of a behavior, whether something is attention seeking, escape or avoiding, to get something tangible or sensory, that those four functions, which I don't feel describe what's going on. I certainly don't feel like they go far enough. So they don't add any value to the conversation. So if you're saying they're seeking attention or they're just trying to get something, you're putting the onus on the kid, like you're blaming the kid. So we reframed it today to four categories that I think are much more helpful in describing where a behavior is coming from. So, what I had explained to this family, and I was able to show them in real time, that when you see a big behavior, that it's either because of an emotion they can't handle, a skill they don't have, a need that's not being met, or a problem they can't solve. So when you talk about the original four functions of the behavior, they don't go far enough in getting to the real underlying cause. But if you go to an emotion they can't handle, a skill they don't have, a need that's not being met, or a problem they can't solve, you can add the word helping to each one of those four new categories, if you will. You can help them manage an emotion, help them learn a skill, help them meet a need, or help them solve a problem. So it's not just putting it on the kid, it's saying, hey, let's partner to learn this skill, to meet this need, to solve this problem, to manage this emotion. So in real time, and this is why I love having families in one of my sessions, there were clear opportunities when the kid just didn't have the skill, and I was right there to help them learn that skill. And when they learn that skill, behavior improves. When we were able to meet that need, behavior improves. So then we were able to take it into the home, because I've got lovely swings and everything here. So this is not real life. Real life is in the house, on the play dates, in the schools, and on the playgrounds. So we were talking about sharing, and taking or losing in a game, not being able to win every time. So reciprocal playing, when there's a winner and a loser, well, they may not have that skill yet, but it's certainly, losing is an emotion that they can't handle. So that's where we're at. So I am going to help them with that emotion that they can't handle, which means I need to be there. So if we're going to put kids in a situation where they have to have a back and forth, and we're not there to coach them, we're setting them up for failure, and we're setting ourselves up to have to address big behaviors because we're late. All of this helping them is being early, and being able to navigate tension as it arises. So we were talking about this, and you saw the light bulb go on with the parent. Like, okay, I can do that. There are games that you can play that are not reciprocal or win or loser, and that the kids may be fine then. But if there's a game and a kid feels like they have to win, they're gonna need help, which means we have to be there. And I know it may be inconvenient or it may be even impossible. Then don't put them in those situations, because it's an emotion they can't handle, and we understand that they need help with that right now. So that was the game. And then in terms of sharing was another one, that was sharing is a skill that they didn't have yet, so they need help understanding that skill, which means they need an adult there who they trust, who they feel safe with, to help them navigate that very tricky concept of sharing, giving up something that you're using and enjoying so that another person can use it. That's really hard for a kid. So we have to be there. So we can't be there all the time. I understand that. But if we go into this mindset that they need help, we can set them up for success by putting them in those situations when we are there to help and coach them. So I'm kind of done with the traditional 4 functions of a behavior because I don't think they're helpful. I think it puts it on the kid. And of course, and it doesn't go far enough to really understand what's going on. So attention seeking, escape or avoiding to get something tangible, and sensory, it's old, it's tired, we know more now. And call it out when you see it in an FBA or when somebody mentions it in a meeting. And I am much more comfortable going with a behavior happens because it's an emotion they can't handle, a skill they don't have yet, a need that's not being met, or a problem they can't solve. And we have to help them do one of those 4 things. Wow, does behavior improve quickly when we go into that mindset? I really hope this helps. Good luck. Give it a shot. Watch how successful you are. So quick.